The last line of defense. The terminus emerged from quantum space like a phantom, its obsidian hull absorbing the distant starlight. Captain Diana Reeves stood at the bridge viewport, her weathered features reflected against the backdrop of unfamiliar stars. Behind her, the bridge crew worked in focused silence, their movements precise and practiced. "Status report," she commanded, turning to face her first officer, Commander Marcus Walsh. The man's dark eyes remained fixed on his holographic display as streams of data cascaded across its surface. "Quantum drive is cooling down, Captain. All systems nominal." He paused, frowning at a new data stream. "Wait, I'm picking up distress signals. Multiple sources, coming from the Vega colony." Diana's jaw tightened. The Vega colony was supposed to be safe, protected by the latest defense grid technology. But she'd seen too many protected worlds fall to the Criveri Empire to take anything for granted. "Show me," she ordered, and the main view screen flickered to life. The sight made her blood run cold. Massive Criveri warships, their crystalline hulls glowing with malevolent energy, hung in orbit around the colony world. The defense grid lay in ruins, its satellites reduced to drifting debris. "Life signs on the surface?" she asked, already knowing the answer but needing to hear it. Lieutenant Rena Patel, their sensors officer, worked her console with trembling fingers. "Scattered. Maybe 30,000 left from a population of 2 million. The Criveri ground forces are..." She swallowed hard. "They're being thorough." Diana had seen this before. The Criveri didn't believe in taking prisoners or showing mercy. To them, other species were vermin to be exterminated, making space for their own superior civilization to expand. They'd already destroyed dozens of worlds, both human and alien, in their relentless march across the galaxy. But this time was different. This time, humanity had the terminus. "Battle stations," Diana commanded, her voice cutting through the tension like a blade. "Tactical, prepare the quantum torpedoes. Engineering, I want full power to the experimental shields." The bridge erupted into controlled chaos as her crew responded. Red alert klaxons wailed through the ship's corridors as nearly 1,000 crew members moved to their combat positions. The Terminus was humanity's newest and most advanced warship, built in secret using technology that pushed the boundaries of known physics. As her crew prepared for battle, Diana studied the tactical display. 5 Criveri capital ships, each nearly twice the size of the Terminus, supported by dozens of smaller vessels. Conventional wisdom said engaging such a force with a single ship was suicide. But conventional wisdom hadn't accounted for Dr. Evelyn Rice, the brilliant physicist who developed the Terminus's quantum drive and weapon systems. The same scientist who'd sacrificed for life ensuring the ship could escape when a Criveri discovered their secret research facility. "Their sensor nets are still focused planetside," Commander Walsh reported. "We have the element of surprise." Diana nodded, memories of past defeats and lost worlds flashing through her mind. "Plot an attack vector that puts us between them and the colony. We're not losing another world. Not today." The Terminus's engines flared to life, pushing the massive vessel forward. Diana felt the familiar pre-battle calm settle over her as she watched the distance to the enemy fleet decrease. "Captain," Lieutenant Patel called out, her voice steady now, professional. "I'm detecting unusual energy readings from the Lid Criveri vessel. They're charging something big." Before Diana could respond, a brilliant beam of energy lanced out from the Criveri flagship, cutting through the planet's atmosphere. Where it struck, the ground itself seemed to ripple and tear apart. "Planet killer," Walsh whispered in horror. "They're going to destroy the entire colony." Diana's fingers dug into the arms of her command chair. "Not on my watch." "Tactical, target their flagship's main weapon array. Fire quantum torpedoes. Full spread." The Terminus shuddered as it launched its devastating payload. The quantum torpedoes, looking like nothing so much as tears in the fabric of space itself, streaked toward their target. The Criveri, finally detecting the threat, began to react, but too late. The torpedoes struck home, and for a moment, reality itself seemed to bend around the impact points. When space normalized again, massive sections of the Creveri flagship had simply ceased to exist, the exotic weapons having erased matter itself from existence. Direct hits, the tactical officer reported, a note of fierce satisfaction in his voice. Their main weapon is offline, but Diana knew the real fight was just beginning. The remaining Creveri ships were turning to face them, their own weapons charging. The Terminus was about to face the full fury of humanity's greatest enemy, and the fate of 30,000 colonists hung in the balance. All hands, she broadcast across the ship's comm system. This is what we were built for. Today we show these bastards that humanity will not go quietly into the night. Today we draw the line. The space between the ships lit up with weapon fire, and the battle for Vega Colony began. Darkness before dawn. The Terminus limped through the debris field that had once been a Creveri battle fleet, its hull scared but intact. Captain Diana Reeves stood at her usual spot on the bridge, watching as rescue shuttles streamed toward the surface of Vega Colony. They'd won the battle, but the cost had been steep. "Damage report," she called out, her voice hoarse from shouting orders during the fight. Lieutenant Rena Patul responded from her station. "Hull breaches on decks 4 through 7 sealed. Main power at 60%. Quantum drive." She hesitated. "Chief Engineer Harrison says it's completely burnt out." Diana nodded grimly. They'd pushed the experimental drive far beyond its designed limits during the battle, using its quantum field generators to create localized distortions that had torn apart 2 Creveri destroyers. Now they were stuck in the Vega system, their most powerful weapon depleted. "Captain," Commander Walsh interrupted, "we're picking up a transmission. It's not coming from the colony or any known frequency. Source: the asteroid belt. It's encrypted, but," he worked his console for a moment, "it's using an old Earth military code. Pre-invasion." Diana's eyes narrowed. "Put it through." The bridge speakers crackled to life with a voice that sounded more machine than human. "Terminus actual. This is Shadow Base. Well done on the light show. Request secure communication channel. Authentication code Sierra 9 Echo 3. Diana exchanged looks with Walsh. That code was centuries old, from Earth's first interstellar wars. "This is Captain Reeves. Channel secured. Identify yourself." The voice that responded was clearer now, distinctly human and male. "Commander Jasper Wong, formerly of Earth Special Operations, currently leading what's left of the resistance in this sector. Captain, we need to talk. Face to face." Hours later, Diana stood in a hidden dock carved into one of Vega's larger asteroids, facing a man who by all official records had died 15 years ago. Commander Wong was tall and lean, with cybernetic augmentations visible along his neck and temples. Behind him, dozens of people worked on ships and equipment, a mix of humans and aliens she'd never seen before. "Welcome to Shadow Base," Wong said, gesturing at the bustling facility, one of the last free ports in this part of space. "We've been watching your ship since you arrived in system. That quantum drive of yours. It's not the only secret weapon being developed to fight the Creveri." He led her through the base, past workshops where engineers worked on salvaged Creveri technology, and medical bays where the wounded from countless battles recovered. They reached a secure room deep within the asteroid, where a holographic display showed tactical data from across the sector. "The Creveri aren't invincible," Wong continued. "They have a weakness, one they've managed to keep hidden for centuries. We discovered it by accident, studying debris from their ships. But we haven't had the means to exploit it." He turned to face her directly. "Until now." Diana studied the tactical display, noting patterns she'd never seen before. "What kind of weakness?" "Their crystalline technology, the core of their power. It's not just technology. It's alive. Or rather, it's powered by life itself. They harvest the essence of the species they destroy, using it to fuel their empire's expansion. The implications hit Diana like a physical blow. That's why they never take prisoners. Why they destroy entire worlds. Wong nodded grimly. But there's more. We've made contact with another species, one that's been fighting the Creveri longer than humanity has existed. The Sylphids. They're energy beings, and they understand the Creveri's technology better than anyone. They'd been helping us develop a countermeasure. As if on cue, the air in the room shimmered, and a being of pure light materialized. It had no fixed shape, its form flowing like liquid starlight. When it spoke, the words formed directly in Diana's mind. Captain Reeves, the Sylphid's thoughts carried a sense of ancient wisdom and deep sorrow. We have watched your battle above Vega. Your ship's quantum technology, combined with our understanding of life energy manipulation, could be the key to defeating the Creveri once and for all. Diana looked between Wong and the Sylphid, her tactical mind already racing with possibilities. What exactly are you proposing? A mission, Wong answered, into the heart of Creveri space. Your ship, our intelligence, Sylphid technology. We have one chance to strike at their core worlds before they realize what we've discovered. Before Diana could respond, alarms blared throughout the base. Lieutenant Patel's voice came through Diana's communicator. Captain, multiple Creveri signatures just appeared at the system's edge. It's a full invasion fleet. The Sylphid's light pulsed with urgency. They must have detected our energy signature. We've run out of time. Diana's mind raced through options. The terminus was damaged, its quantum drive burnt out. Shadow Base was hidden but not designed to withstand a full assault. And somewhere out there, a Creveri fleet was preparing to finish what they'd started at Vega Colony. Commander Wong, she said, her decision made. How quickly can you get your people and that countermeasure technology aboard my ship? Wong smiled, the kind of smile that had probably preceded many impossible missions. Give us 2 hours. And Captain, this is just the beginning. As Diana rushed back to the terminus, she knew they were about to attempt something that no one had ever survived. A fighting retreat from a superior Creveri force while protecting both a colony and a secret base. But for the first time since the war began, they had something the Creveri didn't. Hope. Hearts of steel. The terminus burst from quantum space directly into chaos. Lieutenant Zara Noor's modified stealth systems had gotten them past the outer defense grid of Creveri Prime. But now proximity alarms screamed as debris from an ancient battlefield threatened to tear the ship apart. Multiple impacts. Lieutenant Patel called out from her station. Navigational shields holding at 80%. Captain Diana Reeves gripped her command chair, watching as her helmsman threaded the massive warship through a graveyard of derelict vessels. Each wreck told a story, the remnants of civilizations that had tried and failed to stop the Creveri war machine. Status of the Sylphid integration, she demanded, glancing at Commander Wong. The former Special Operations Officer stood at a newly installed console, its crystalline surface pulsing with otherworldly energy. Stable, he replied, his cybernetic implants glowing as they interfaced with the alien technology. Our passenger is eager to begin. Their passenger was Vorith, the Sylphid energy being who had volunteered to merge with the Terminus's quantum systems. The creature's luminescent form now threaded through the ship's power conduits like living lightning, enhancing every system it touched. Captain, Walsh's voice carried an edge of urgency. Long-range sensors are picking up something strange. The Creveri home world. It's not what we expected. The main view screen shifted, showing their target. Diana felt her breath catch. Instead of a planet, they faced what appeared to be a massive crystalline structure, roughly spherical, but with geometric patterns that hurt the eyes to look at directly. Energy signatures pulsed through its lattice-work surface like blood through veins. By all the stars, Wong whispered, it's not their home world. It's their hive. Vorith's thoughts resonated through the ship's communications. The truth we feared. They transformed their entire planet into a processing node. Every soul they've harvested, every world they've destroyed. The energy flows here. Diana's tactical mind raced through implications. That's why they need to consume other species. They're feeding this thing. Incoming. Patel's shout cut through the revelation. Multiple Criveri signatures emerging from the structure. The view screen filled with crystalline ships of all sizes, pouring from the geometric planet like antibodies responding to an infection. But Diana had planned for this. The past week had been spent drilling her crew on Lieutenant Noor's innovative combat strategies, developed specifically for this mission. Execute battle plan, Theta, Diana commanded. Noor, show us what those modifications can do. Zara Noor's dark eyes gleamed as her fingers flew across her tactical console. The Terminus's weapon systems, augmented by Sylphid technology, came alive in ways their designers had never imagined. Quantum torpedoes split into multiple warheads mid-flight, each carrying a payload of weaponized Sylphid energy. Where they struck, Criveri crystal ships didn't just explode. They dissolved, their life energy matrices disrupted at the fundamental level. It's working. Noor called out, her voice tight with concentration. Their defensive patterns are breaking down. But the Criveri weren't finished. A massive energy beam lanced out from the crystalline planet, barely missing the terminus as the helmsman executed a desperate evasive maneuver. They're adapting, Wong warned. Standard attack patterns won't work for long. Diana nodded grimly. Then we move to Phase 2. Get us closer to that structure. Vorith, prepare for primary interface. The Sylphid's response carried a note of concern. Captain Reeves, at this range, the feedback could be catastrophic. We knew the risks when we started this mission, Diana replied. Do it. The Terminus dove deeper into the maelstrom of combat, its quantum shields flaring as they absorbed hit after hit. Around them, space itself seemed to warp and twist as the crystalline planet's defenses fully activated. They were witnessing power on a scale that defied comprehension. The accumulated energy of thousands of consumed civilizations turned against them. Vorith's consciousness expanded through the ship's systems, merging more deeply with the quantum drive. The Terminus's hull began to vibrate at frequencies that set teeth on edge and made vision blur. Warning indicators flashed across every console as the ship's systems were pushed far beyond their designed limits. Multiple hull breaches, Patel reported. Structural integrity failing. Reroute all available power to forward shields, Diana ordered. Helm, maintain course. They were close enough now to see individual structures on the crystalline surface, each one pulsing with stolen life energy. Somewhere in that geometric maze lay the key to the Criveri's power and their weakness. Sensor analysis complete, Walsh announced, his voice steady despite the chaos around them. We've located the primary processing core, sending coordinates to tactical. Diana allowed herself a tight smile. This was what they'd come for. One shot at the heart of the empire that had terrorized the galaxy for centuries. But before she could give the order to fire, a new threat emerged. The space between the Terminus and their target began to crystallize, physical reality itself being transformed by the immense energies at play. They were about to be trapped, turned into just another exhibit in the Criveri's graveyard of conquered species, unless they tried something that no one, human, Sylphid, or Criveri, had ever attempted before. All hands, Diana broadcast shipwide. Brace for quantum inversion. Vorith, on my mark. Behind her, Wong's cybernetic implants sparked as they struggled to process the energy readings. Lieutenant Noor's modified weapons hung ready, waiting for the command that would either save humanity or destroy them all. And somewhere in the ship's systems, an ancient energy being prepared to risk everything on one desperate gambit. The fate of every species in the galaxy hung in the balance, and Captain Diana Reeves was about to make the call that would decide it all. The breaking storm. Quantum inversion in 3, 2, 1. Mark. Reality twisted around the Terminus as Vorith channeled its energy through the ship's modified systems. The crystalline barrier forming around them shattered like glass, its fragments dissolving into quantum foam. Through the gap, Lieutenant Noor's targeting systems locked onto the Kravari processing core. But something was wrong. "Captain," Chief Engineer Harrison's voice crackled through the comm, heavy with urgency. "The quantum drive's containment is failing. We got maybe 5 minutes before total breakdown." Diana's mind raced through options as she watched enemy ships closing in from all directions. They were so close to their target, but a quantum drive breach would destroy them as surely as any Kravari weapon. "Vorith," she called out, "can you stabilize it?" The Sylphid's response came tinged with strain. "Not while maintaining the quantum inversion field. We must choose, Captain. Quickly." Before Diana could respond, a new voice cut through the chaos. "I might have a solution." Chief Engineer Harrison appeared on the bridge, his uniform stained with coolant and his eyes bright with the kind of inspiration that either saved ships or destroyed them. "The quantum drive's not just overloading," he explained, moving to an engineering station. "It's resonating with the Kravari crystal matrix. If we can modify the frequency." His fingers flew over the controls, making adjustments that made warning lights flash across every console. Commander Wong's cybernetic implants sparked as he processed the data. "He's right. The frequency match is almost perfect. But Harrison, if we do this, the drive burns out completely." Harrison finished. "We'll be stranded here, but we'll have one hell of a shot at their core." Diana looked at her tactical display. The Kravari were regrouping, preparing for another assault. Their crystalline planet hive pulsed with stolen life energy, each beat a reminder of countless civilizations destroyed. They wouldn't get another chance at this. "Do it," she ordered. "Lieutenant Noor, prepare to fire everything we have the moment that core is exposed. Commander Walsh, get me a fleet-wide channel." As Harrison and Vorith began their desperate modification attempt, Diana's voice carried across space to every surviving human and allied ship in range. "This is Captain Reeves of the Terminus. We found the heart of the Kravari Empire, and we're about to strike a blow that could end this war. But we'll need help getting out afterward. Anyone who can fight. We need you now." Responses came immediately. Resistance ships emerged from hiding spots throughout the system. Sylphid energy vessels materialized from subspace. Even a few battered Earth Defense Force ships, survivors of previous battles, moved to support positions. Harrison's voice cut through the momentum. "Modifications complete. Initiating quantum resonance in 3, 2, 1. The Terminus shuddered as its quantum drive synchronized with the Kravari crystal matrix. Energy coursed through the ship's hull, making metal groan and crystal sing. On the view screen, sections of the geometric planet hive began to flicker and fade, its carefully maintained energy patterns disrupting. "Core exposure in 10 seconds, Noor reported, her modified weapons already tracking the emerging target. 9, 8. The Kravari responded with overwhelming force. Energy beams and crystal projectiles hammered the terminus from all directions. Shield generators overloaded and failed in cascading sequences. 7, 6, 5. Multiple hull breaches. Patel called out. "We're losing structural integrity." 4, 3. Vorith's presence flickered through the ship's systems. "I cannot maintain containment much longer, Captain." 2, 1. "Fire everything," Diana commanded. Lieutenant Noor's fingers danced across her console, releasing every weapon in the Terminus's arsenal. Quantum torpedoes, Sylphid energy projectors, and conventional warheads streaked toward the exposed Kravari core. The crystalline planet hive's defenses tried to intercept them, but the combined assault was too much. The first hits struck home, and for a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then reality itself appeared to crack. Lines of pure energy spread across the geometric surface of the Kravari construct like lightning in reverse, each one releasing the life energy of countless imprisoned souls. "Energy surge," Walsh shouted. "It's going critical." Diana knew what was coming. All ships, maximum thrust. Get clear of the blast radius. But the Terminus didn't move. Couldn't move. Its quantum drive was burnt out, its conventional engines destroyed. They had achieved their objective, but the price would be steep. That's when a new ship appeared, emerging from quantum space practically on top of them. Its design was like nothing Diana had ever seen, combining human, sylphid, and what appeared to be ancient Crevari technology. A familiar voice came through the comm. "Captain Reeves, this is Admiral Chen of the Earth Defense Force's Special Projects Division. Sorry we're late to the party. Preparing for emergency quantum tether." Diana felt a smile tug at her lips despite the situation. Earth had kept some secrets of its own, it seemed. As the crystalline planet hive began to tear itself apart, energy tendrils reached out from the Admiral's ship, enveloping the Terminus in a quantum field. The last thing Diana saw before reality blurred was the heart of the Crevari Empire collapsing in on itself, taking centuries of stolen life energy with it. They had struck the blow they came for. But the war wasn't over yet. As the quantum tether pulled them to safety, Diana knew that the real challenge lay ahead, helping the galaxy heal from centuries of Crevari rule, while ensuring that no species ever again amassed such terrible power. The Terminus had started a revolution. Now they had to win the peace that would follow. Dawn's promise. 3 days after the destruction of the Crevari core world, the Terminus drifted in high orbit above Earth. Through the bridge viewport, Captain Diana Reeves watched as debris from the recent battle was cleared by recovery vessels. The planet below showed signs of damage from Crevari attacks, but it still stood. Humanity had survived. Final casualty reports from the fleet action, Commander Walsh said quietly, handing her a datapad. Diana read the numbers in silence, each lost ship and crew adding weight to her shoulders. Victory had come at a terrible cost. "And the Crevari?" she asked, though she already knew the answer. "Fragmenting," Walsh replied. "Without their central hive mind, their ships are operating independently. Some are surrendering, others fighting to the death. But their empire is finished." Lieutenant Noor spoke up from her station. "The released life energy is having unexpected effects. Reports are coming in from across the galaxy of dead worlds showing signs of renewal. It's like the stolen life is returning home." Diana thought of Vorith and the other Sylphids who had sacrificed so much to make this victory possible. The energy beings had departed shortly after the battle, their mission complete, but their legacy would reshape the galaxy. "Captain," Lieutenant Patel called out, "Incoming transmission from Earth Defense Command. Priority 1. The main screen activated, showing Admiral Chen alongside representatives from various species, former victims of Crevari aggression, now united in victory. The Admiral's expression was grave despite their success. "Captain Reeves," he began, "your actions at the Crevari core world have changed everything. But we face a new challenge. The power vacuum left by the Crevari Empire threatens to destabilize entire sectors. We need someone to lead a joint task force, someone who has proven they can unite different species toward a common goal." Diana understood what was coming. The Terminus was built to defend humanity. "Admiral, we're not diplomats." A familiar figure stepped into view beside Chen, Commander Wang, his cybernetic implants now integrated with what appeared to be Sylphid technology. "Who better to forge peace than those who won the war? Besides, Captain, you might want to hear about the upgrades we're proposing for your ship." Chief Engineer Harrison, who had joined them on the bridge, perked up at that. "Upgrades? The Sylphids left us more than just victory," Wang explained. "Their understanding of life energy and quantum mechanics. It's revolutionary. We're talking about ships that could help restore devastated worlds, technology that could prevent any species from ever achieving the kind of dominance the Crevari had." Diana looked around her bridge, at the crew who had become family through countless battles. She saw in their eyes the same thing she felt, a mix of exhaustion and hope, a desire to build something after so many years of fighting. What's the assignment, Admiral? Chen's image was replaced by a galactic map showing dozens of highlighted systems. These worlds were all major Creveri strongholds. Each one holds technology and resources that could either rebuild civilizations or start new wars. We need someone to oversee their recovery, to ensure that what we found in those facilities is used to heal rather than harm, and to watch for any signs that the Creveri might be trying to rebuild, Wong added. Not all of them were connected to the hive mind when it fell. Diana stood, facing the screen with the same determination that had carried her through the darkest days of the war. The terminus will need at least 2 weeks in space dock for repairs. We'll need to modify our crew complement to include diplomatic and scientific personnel. And I want Commander Wong's team involved in any upgrades. Already arranged, Chen replied with a slight smile. There's something else you should know. The quantum pulse that destroyed the Creveri core world had an unexpected effect on your ship's systems. The merger between your technology and the Sylphid modifications, it's evolving. Harrison stepped forward, excitement clear in his voice. I've been monitoring unusual energy patterns throughout the ship. It's like the quantum drive is adapting, becoming something new. With proper development, we might be able to. A soft chime interrupted him. Every screen on the bridge suddenly displayed the same message, written in flowing script that seemed to shimmer with its own light. We remain with you. Diana felt a familiar presence brush against her mind, not Vorith, but something similar. Part of the Sylphid consciousness had merged permanently with the Terminus's systems, creating something entirely new. Well, she said, a smile tugging at her lips, I suppose that makes our decision for us. Send us the mission parameters. Admiral, the Terminus and her crew are ready to help build the peace we fought so hard to win. As the transmission ended, Diana returned to her viewport. Below, Earth continued its slow rotation, its night side now coming into view. Cities glowed in the darkness, their lights a defiant reminder that humanity had faced extinction and emerged stronger. Commander Walsh, she called out, prepare a ship-wide announcement. I want all hands to know our new mission. Course heading, Captain, the helmsman asked. Diana thought of all the worlds waiting to be restored, all the species looking to rebuild. The war was over, but their journey was just beginning. Set course for the frontier, she ordered. There's a galaxy out there that needs our help to heal. And this time, we're not just bringing weapons to the fight. We're bringing hope. The Terminus's engines hummed to life, their pitch somehow different now, almost musical. As the ship prepared to depart Earth orbit, its quantum-enhanced systems pulsed with renewed purpose. They had faced humanity's greatest challenge and prevailed. Now it was time to face an even greater one, creating a future worthy of those who had sacrificed everything to make it possible.